I wanted to show you some new dies I got. It's from My Crafting World Designs, and they're designed by Nicole'spapercrafts. And these are fun because they say things like goodies, bling, treats, bows, trims, mim, and decks. And then she also has more clay, scraps, stamps, cutting die. You get the idea. Mix, there's sequins, there's embellies, there's embellishments, the word is somewhere. There's ephemera, beads, I mean just charms, buttons, everything, right? Everything. So I thought those were so cool. I had to get those, and I have an idea for these. I am going to show you in a minute. I'm going to make some, well, I'm not going to make some. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm going to make some little gift ideas. Packaging. There we go. Whew, that was so hard to say. I'm going to make some packaging ideas using these word dies because I think that'll just be so fun. So bear with me. I'm going to get everything together and then we're going to start. So what I was thinking for packaging, and would be really, really cute, is matchboxes. Everybody loves a good matchbox and they're easy to make. So I had a die that actually made like a little tiny dresser. It's a Nicole silhouette die. I don't know if it's still sold at AliExpress, but that's what I had. Some people have matchbox dies. If you didn't have a matchbox die or like a dresser drawer die like what I'm doing, you could use a real matchbox. Or you could go and you could look at all the YouTube videos that tell you how to make a matchbox from scratch. But I'm using this. So then what I did was I didn't have a cover for it, so I had to make a cover. And the way I did that was I just took a length of paper. I measured my matchbox just like that. And then I folded, measured it again, made another fold, measured, folded, and then folded again. And this will just be glued right on there. One thing you do want to keep in mind is you want to try to keep your edges as square as possible. I have a little bit of a problem with that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and glue my matchbox. I like a quicker drying adhesive for this. So I'm just going to fold that down and then I can just fold that. Or actually, yeah, I think I'm going to want to put my box in there just to make sure that it fits snugly but not too tightly. And look, that's a really good fit. The only thing I might want to do is straighten everything up. Like I said, I do want to have everything at right angles. If I have a little bit of overlap like I do here, it's very easy to fix. Just come in with a pair of scissors and holding them right next to the edge, I'm just cutting that off. There we go. All right, now I know that this edge is 3/4 of an inch. I know this is 3/4 of an inch. And what I'm going to do on this is I'm only going to put some decorative paper here and here, because those are the only two sides that are going to show unless I take my drawer out. If you wanted to, you could decorate here and here as well, and here and there, but I don't need to do that. And then on this piece, I'm going to, of course, put a piece for the top, the bottom, and the two sides. Okay. So what I did was, got my decorative paper, I put this down, squared it up, and just traced around my top, and I did the same thing for my bottom. And then I'm just going to cut 3/4 inch strips here, and I'm probably only need to cut 2 3/4 inch strips. So let me go cut my paper and I'll be right back. Cut out my pieces. So I've got my top, my bottom, and these are going to be my side pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my little box, my little drawer part, and I'm just going to put this right up next to it. And I can be brave, and I'm just going to cut it off. There we go. And I know I need 2 of these, so I will just cut it off. There we go. I have 2 of those. And now I need my, side piece. Oh, okay, and this one I need to just cut one more 3/4 inch piece, and then I need to make it match that. Be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to just glue on my pieces. Now remember, on the drawer piece, I'm only doing the front of the drawer and the back of the drawer. Now I'm going to want to make a little drawer pull, and I'm going to use something special that I found on AliExpress a while back. They're just tiny little, tiny little knobs. That's where my other piece had gone. And I'll show you those in a minute. All right, I just want to press down my paper so that I don't get any lifting. Okay. Now I'm going to glue on my top pieces. And depending if your paper is patterned or not, you want to make sure that you have the pattern going in a way that pleases you. This is a random pattern, so I don't really need to worry about it. And I'll tell you why I chose this paper in just a moment too. That'll become evident. Alrighty, there's one piece. And then I want to cover up my back. I'm sorry to make you watch me glue. Okay. And then I'm going to glue these onto my side pieces. I'm being brave and just adding it to the box. This just makes it a little bit quicker and you don't have to get as bored with me. And then I just use that, kind of swoosh it in place. Now it looks to me like one side of my box is bigger than the other, so you want to be, it definitely is bigger than the other, isn't it? So you want to be more careful than I was. But when it's in there, it doesn't really look bad, so we're good. Okay, you know, Matchbox die would probably be the best, or even just covering a regular Matchbox, but I wanted to try this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I got these little knob thingies off of AliExpress, and they just screw together. They're in 2 parts. So I need to make a hole. So I'm going to take my itty bitty hole punch, and I think it's maybe 1/16 of an inch. It's just tiny. And I made a template. And I'm just going to lay this across This actually has a hole in the center of it. I just folded it in half that way, folded it in half that way, and then punched a hole there. So I'm just going to put this here, kind of eyeball it, take my hole punch, and punch down right through the center of that hole I'd already made. And there I have a tiny hole. Now obviously this big screw isn't going to fit through that tiny hole. So what I need to do now is I'm going to take a pair of my scissors and I'm going to widen my hole. I'm not widening it tons, but I am widening it. Not enough though to use a regular hole punch to make the hole. And I think I might need to widen it just a shade more. And when you're widening it, you might worry that the front looks terrible. Don't worry about that. It's not going to show. So put in your screw part. And then all you do is you just twist the knob right on. Of course, you want to line up your threads correctly. And this one is being difficult. Okay, let me get a new one because that one's defective. Put a new screw in there, taking out a new little knob. Yeah, this one is working very well. So I'm just going to screw it on. And you can use a screwdriver if you want to make it really tight. But I'm not going to do that right now because I'm just showing you this. All right, so I got my knob on. And look how cute this is. It looks just like a little drawer. Isn't that cute? I don't like that side. Let me try this side. That's better. Okay. So now I want to use those wonderful words that I showed you in the beginning. And I'm using paper and cuts. If I can pick it up. There we go. And I'm thinking something like that. And what I'm going to put into this box, because I have a ton of stuff, is my greenery. And so there's two ways that I'm going to know that my paper cuts in here are the greenery, is because the box paper that I used has greenery on it. And I may just throw a leaf or two there too. Okay. Something like this. And that way when I'm looking for something quick or quickly, I can find it. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll just glue those down. I'll come right back. Okay, this is my completed little box, and it can be used for swaps or it can be used to store my own goodies in. So I think that is really cute, actually. Another idea is, let me tell you about the words first. So like I had said, the words came from mycraftingworlddesigns.com, and I will put a link in the description box. And no, I don't make anything if you buy them. Nicole designed those, like I had stated earlier. So anyway, the nice thing about this is, see, she's got the word paper separately from cuts, and there's also one that says die. So what I can do if I wanted to was I could put paper and then have a butterfly here, because she doesn't have the word butterfly. And I would know that this box is full of my paper butterflies. I have charms, box of charms. This is my generic goodie box. I get the words goodies. And I glued these on here just to show me what's inside the box, so I don't have to go hurriedly searching to find things. Bows, and once again, if I wanted to have a box that was just paper bows, I could put paper bows on the box, or in this case I have many different types of bows in my box: paper, fabric, plastic. So I got those. flowers. I could have paper flowers or just flowers. These were pre-made flowers that I bought at Michael's. I think it's this year's colors. I just love these. They're so pretty. And believe it or not, this box actually holds a whole pack of those flowers. And then button. Now, the only problem I have with this is it says button. That's one button. But that's okay, because it's cute. Button. So I put a sewing machine on my box. I put some buttons on my box. And I open it up, and I know right where my buttons are stored. These are all my small buttons. I have a lot more, unfortunately. So it looks like I'm going to have to make one more box. And I think when I do, I'm going to use the word paper and flowers, and then I'll know that I have all these parts of flowers, so that when I want to build a flower, I can just get in that box and grab that. Or better yet, I could use the word flower and cuts, and then I know exactly what I have in there, because I have flower cuts and they're ready to go. So that is my little swap idea. I hope you've liked it. Oh, another thing you could do if you're really into it, you can stack these and make a little dresser. Oops, I'm sorry. Ah, I can't. Oh, here we go. I'm going to show you this way. You could stack them. Of course, you wouldn't want to have the words on them, but you could stack your Matchboxes and then put a big band around all of them to hold them in there. And then you'd have a little, oops, dresser. Not the right one to open because it's full of flowers. They're bursting. They're bursting to get out. Anyway, I hope you liked this idea. It was just fun, something quick. And like I said, these words are awesome. You can use them for storage. You can use them for swaps. You could use them for, gosh, you know, wouldn't this be fun if you had like a picture of a kid eating a whole bunch of candy and stuff? You could just do goodies, or, you know, presents, a bunch of presents. You could use goodies with it. Or we called my little granddaughter Bobo, and so we could just cut the S off and use this in a scrapbook, you know, on a picture with her and write Bobo, because it's cute. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if this is something that you would want to try on a swap, or if you store any of your goodies in Matchboxes. Thanks, bye.